Well. Welcome everybody to Not Another Wrestling Talk Show number 12. This time we have a special guest, HK from Marked Out Media. And of course, to my other side, this way, that way, is the Fog Jones. And of course, I am the Mask J, your favorite masked character with glasses. Tonight, we are going to talk about WWE, AEW, NXT Deadline Aftermath, and other rumors, leaks, fun stuff. You know, all the stuff that makes Twitter go boom, boom, boom. Mark, what you got to say?
Oh, I'm excited to be here. Oh, thanks for having me, guys. The fastest rising and hottest up and coming podcast in the game. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you.
That is true.
I'm a big fan, honestly. I've been watching, and you guys got some good stuff going. It's fun, it's entertaining. So I'm juiced. Been looking forward to this one.
All that, and we don't even know what we're doing. So
you got me fooled. You guys could have fooled me.
You think I don't know what I'm doing?
Happy to have you. There's like a crazy amount of stuff going on, so hope you're seated. And if you're watching live, join in the chat. I'll be monitoring it as much as I can. Call out the things that are notable, of course. But let's start with Deadline, man. HK, what'd you think of Deadline NXT? I thought it was insane. But what did you think?
To put the simplest way I could put it is banger. It was an absolute banger. After the men's Survivor Iron Man match, can't remember the name of it. But even after that, I forgot there was 2 matches left. And I was like, oh, man, this event has been amazing. And I was like, oh, shit, there's still 2 matches left. That's how great it was from beginning to end. And then the only critique I would have is the cage match. It was a little wonky and kind of awkward. And then the whole interference thing, I think a lot of people are confused on who it actually was. That's my only critique. But, you know, it was a great show. And then CM Punk showing up was a little cherry on top. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was fun.
It was cool to see him. I thought
it was great.
Yeah.
I feel like people are like way over critiquing everything the guy does. He's done 3 appearances.
Everything he does is a think piece. His post on Instagram is a think piece. A little like fun promo with HBK, which I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah,
is a think piece. Now, like, what is it? Oh man, it's crazy, but that shows what a draw he is, dude. He just gets eyeballs. Everyone talks about him. So it's a testament to him.
It's like love or hate. It doesn't matter, right? Because if money,
he's polarizing for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's funny. Like I always say, like if I was the booker, which dear God, don't ever let me be the booker. But if I were the booker,
I absolutely would not trust you.
If I were the booker, all these different things I would do. But at the same time, I'm like, I'd be like mad because the things that make money are all the things I don't like. Like I'm not a Roman.
Yeah, you're a Drew
kind of a Cody fan. You know what I mean? But yeah,
you like Drew, so I mean.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we got a cult. We got a cult of people. Okay, so I'm not alone. There's Drew
like
cult on
5.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you guys for that. There's
Five's
like
company.
5.
I appreciate it. So what? Talk NXT Deadline a little bit more. I actually missed the cage match. I hate to say it like this. That was kind of the match where if I was gonna miss one and go do other stuff, like I got a 3-year-old, man. Yeah, I got, you know what I mean. Like you got to eat dinner, you got to do stuff, and that was kind of the match. I came back and I saw the ending, and me and my wife were like, Tiffany?
That is literally what I thought.
Yeah, mind you, we're not big NXT watchers. We pay attention a little bit. We know what's going on. But yeah, we thought it was Tiffany. But what was like your big moment for that night?
For the night, I mean, CM Punk, just because I'm such a big CM Punk fan. So that was there. And he hasn't been in NXT. And he showed up like one time, like over 10 years ago. So that was cool to see, especially with the interaction with HBK. But for me, I think the main event, dude, Dragunov is like on another level, dude. He pulls it to another gear in those main event matches. His intensity, man. And I posted this yesterday where I think he's really making a case for Wrestler of the Year. He's so underrated. I mean, just banger after banger. Man, he kills it. And I thought that was my favorite match of the night. Just the way he did it. The storytelling within the match was great too. So yeah, that was my for sure breakout moment where I was like, damn, this guy's really something different.
His eyes, right?
Yeah.
The intensity, man. It draws you in. It really draws you in.
He is on. Yeah, I agree. He is on a different level than pretty much almost everybody on the roster right now. But man, the women's Iron Survivor match, that was such a banger.
I loved that.
Oh, that was fun. That was so much fun.
Such a banger. It really turned out well.
It exceeded my expectations for sure. And then I think Tiffany did a moonsault or Swanton off the little penalty box.
Something like that, yeah.
Something along those lines, and that was fun. Yeah, they had a lot of good spots.
They really messed around with the little timeout box this time around.
Yeah, they used it a lot. It was cool. Even with the men's one too. I think they're like breaking out or fighting in it.
Oh my, yeah! Did you see the little box they put on the screen showing them fighting inside there?
Yeah, no, you hear
oh my
God, what is of the plexiglass.
Yeah, I wish they used real glass.
Just have to break through
it. Anybody else that reference?
Someone's gonna get like knocked out in the penalty box.
I mean,
that'd be too funny.
I like to knock on it. Real glass.
I know this is like, I feel like everyone's saying this, so it's not really needing to be said, but I think last night kind of proved it a little bit, is that women's division is just ridiculous. Like, that's probably the deepest women's division with hunger and better booking, I'd say, than elsewhere even. But just even that match, the women's Iron Survivor, it felt like people were just coming out of that stars. And not to say like the men's match wasn't good, because it was good, but I don't think you had, outside of Trick, who I love, Trick Williams, I think Trick was the one who broke out from that match, and everyone else kind of did what they do. Like Braun showed up and just, he like wrecked everyone. That's what Braun does. But I don't know that anyone like grew from that match. More or less like, hey, they did a good job. Whereas in the women's match, it was like all these names are popping up now. I'm just trying to say, like, not to the same extent. I just feel like the hunger is there a little bit more.
What about Josh Briggs, who had his breakout moment there?
He looked good. I totally agree with what you're saying, Fogg. Honestly, I thought the same. I had the same sentiments coming out of after the show. I thought the same thing. The women, just I think more of them shined than versus the men's match. More shine and more came out of it winning. I mean, don't get me wrong. Trick Williams, I think, had like the biggest spotlight. I mean, goddamn, the crowd was so hot for him, dude. Like, it's his time right now. So they did a great job on that. But with the women, I think it's more even on who's coming out with the spotlight there. It's more evened out on them coming out shining.
Okay, I can get on board with that. Yeah, I agree.
Trick, man. I want to talk about Trick Williams, and I'll say this. So NXT is one of those shows. There's only so much time that a person has. You work your job, you got a fan, whatever your situation is, and like NXT is one of the harder ones for me to catch for whatever reason. But like certain things, I would say, kind of forced me to watch it. And one was like when they were doing 2.0 and Braun Breaker was about to debut. I was like, I got to start watching this a little bit, and then maybe it fell off. Carmelo came on the rise. I get it. Carmelo's good. He doesn't really pop to me the way that I think the internet's making him pop. That's a hot take. We're going to talk about that. And I want you guys.
That is a very hot take.
I want heat for that because the thing is this. I'm going to throw it out there like a million times. I'm not an avid NXT watcher. But here's where I'm going with this. Two things. I think Carmelo Trick, that story is like top 5 right now, current storylines, if not top 3 in WWE. But Trick Williams to me is like just blowing up like he should. And I feel like the stars are aligning, and I think they did all the things right with him. His music's right. The way they presented him and started him and helped him grow is right. My hot take is this. Here's the hot take. I feel like when Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes hit the main roster, Trick is going to scale Carmelo. Whereas a lot of people, even to this day, are saying like Carmelo's going to be the WrestleMania main eventer, like Carmelo Braun. And maybe, but there's something about Trick Williams that you kind of have to watch him. So you guys, go ahead. Tear me up. Tell me what's up.
Oh, man. There's so much to dissect here. I can kind of see what you're saying. And I definitely see what you're saying, and I like Trick Williams a lot. I mean, the crowd's behind him. Carmelo Hayes just has a different gear, though, when it comes to, I think in ring, it's not that close. It's not that close in ring. Carmelo is like almost, I would say, comparison, and don't take this with a grain of salt, like a modern day HBK. To an extent, Carmelo, same stature, really can go in the ring. Trick Williams, and I don't want to hate on him. So this is gonna be tough, but I think at moments you can kind of see almost like a flash in the pan. Like, the crowd loves his songs, and like, his theme song's great. It's catchy. He's kind of captivating, but there needs to be more substance there. And I think with time, he may be able to peel back the layers. And then, the mic skill, I think it needs a little bit of work. But there's definitely potential there. But right now, I think Carmelo Hayes is going to run with it, especially if they were going to the main roster next week.
Oh, right, yes, for sure. First of all, Carmelo Hayes that dude's like, I don't think he belongs in NXT, in ring and on the mic and persona. He's got it all down. And I always say, like, NXT, in my opinion, should be when you figure out who you are, and then you should be called up. You got to have all the pieces. You got to be able to get up there, and this is who I am. And Carmelo Hayes he's got it all, in my opinion. He's great. And I agree. Trick Williams is a little green, like in the ring. There's a little green on the mic and all that. But you know what, man? Like, fans don't care. Like, some of the best wrestlers of all time they don't do anything. Like, look at Roman.
Goldberg's a great example. Goldberg's a great example. Because he does
Roman.
To his testament, Trick Williams has that energy. And that's a huge part of wrestling, is bringing that energy. Aura. And then people just vibe off that. They feed off of it, and then they get behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm interested to see, and I like being wrong. I'm going to just throw that out there. I am not a proud person like that, like if in 2 years from now, if in 2 years it's like Carmelo's the guy and Trick is not, I'm going to call myself out on that. And I'm not saying what I want, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on that, because I'm very interested, because they've got this connection. They've been building this story. This story is hot, and I think it's going to get hotter. The way they ended last night was like, some stuff's going down. Overall, I thought it was a great premium live event. Every time I see him, I'm like, I gotta watch more NXT. I just got to. So
honestly, NXT is probably my favorite show right now out of all of them. Like, any AEW show, any WWE show, NXT is probably in my personal opinion, the most well booked show. You got the storylines, you got the gimmicks, everything's just like fun, and it makes sense. Like, even with Lexus King doing that little thing after the match about saying he just wanted to be on the PLE, so he was kind of like a sneaky, little things like that, where it's like things become more cohesive and make sense storyline wise. And that's why I love NXT. It just makes sense. Things always kind of connect.
They are doing a really good job of telling stories on NXT. Shawn Michaels is really booking it well, and I think the writing team behind them is working well with them, working well with the talent. And last night was a testament to that. I mean, you think of all the matches that happened and how every little detail just kind of mattered. And you don't get that with Raw or SmackDown always, and you don't get that with AEW Dynamite or Collision. You just don't get that, but NXT just kind of gets it and puts it right in front of your face, while still trying to be, secretive about it. You really have to pay attention.
Yeah, the storytelling's second to none. The only thing and when you bring up AEW, the only thing I don't like is you either have to pay attention too much to like the smallest little details, where it's like you got to be super invested, or a super hardcore fan, where it kind of throws off, people that don't watch everything.
Well, yeah, I mean,
NXT, like, it's a little not simple, but it's a little more just easier to digest and see, and then it all just kind of isn't so chaotic and booking wise.
Right. I mean, in AEW's defense, a lot of it was relying. They got rid of being the Elite, or whatever the hell that show was on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
that was something I'm glad they finally decided upon, because nobody was gonna watch that on top of trying to watch Dynamite. And if, say, you're just a new fan, you come across this show that somewhat of AEW, but then all of a sudden there's like all this stuff going on, and you're like, why is this happening? Oh, somebody's gonna say, oh well, it was on Being the Elite. It's on YouTube. You gotta watch that first. Well, that's not gonna fly. People aren't gonna want to do that.
Yeah, you can't have you had to watch this to understand that. That's going to lose a lot of people, especially like, it's on YouTube, and it's kind of like a little sketch comedy type of thing. So it's like, it's going to lose so many people.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it every once in a while. I thought it was funny.
I enjoy it.
I think Young Bucks are funny people. I may not care for them in the ring. I still think they're, good people overall, and I think they have some comedic chops to them. So they should definitely play into that more than not.
Yeah, I think if they would have did a lot of things they did on Being the Elite, they should have did it on the actual show, and then it probably would have made a lot more sense.
Yep.
I have a terrible question.
Nope.
And I think you guys answered it, but I'm asking anyway.
Bring it on.
BTE stands for Being the Elite, right?
Correct.
Okay. That was an official AEW show?
No,
it wasn't. I think it was going on before even AEW started, if I'm not mistaken, because they did a lead up to like the first All In.
Correct. It was on before AEW became a thing. But since the Young Bucks are EVPs and have,
which I think is a horrible decision. But I digress.
We'll digress from that because I'm not.
We're definitely gonna have to dive into that one.
They were utilizing it for some stories on TV, on network TV, with a show that was not technically a part of AEW itself.
I see. Okay.
Bugged the hell out of me.
Yeah, that's messy. Yeah, that's messy.
Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show, like, I'm not the biggest AEW fan, but I do like them. I think they have the stupid amount of talent, but I did not know that, and I've never seen BTE. And it's like, if it were official, I was gonna say they do a terrible job of like plugging that in during the show, pushing it up, or even talk about it. So I'm glad it's not official. But yeah, like the whole EVP thing, I think TNA kind of tarnished a lot of people on the concept of wrestler / booker or anything similar wrestling, the on-screen persona having any sort of power in terms of like the wrestling itself.
Oh, you're talking about Hulk Hogan.
I mean, yeah, also in WCW, which is the first thing that comes to my mind when it's like inmates running the asylum, is a big red flag, which I don't know how people haven't learned from history, because that's just doesn't make sense. And like the whole CM Punk thing, definitely you got to look at who are EVPs. It's just messy. It's messy. And then you kind of got to wonder who has the best interest of the company.
Yep. No, I agree completely. I think that's part of the reason why Cody left.
I think so too.
I can't confirm it. I mean, I haven't talked to Cody, but I would love to. It just seems like there was a lot of writings on the wall with how things were being ran. Again,
so I'm gonna ask a tough question.
Oh, okay.
I'm asking, like, I think it's a really tough question.
No, it's not.
I'll let you guys decide if it's tough or not. But so Cody and CM Punk, looking back now, are two of the biggest names in WWE right now, which they, CM Punk just came back, right? And Cody's only been back for a year and a half, I think.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah, coming up on 2 years. Come WrestleMania, it'll be his 2-year anniversary, right? So, what's the reason? There's different scenarios. CM Punk was definitely over in AEW, and he was whatever, but like Cody was almost being rejected in AEW. So, what do you think the reason is for Cody being, Superman, Captain America in WWE, but like America's Most Wanted in AEW?
That's great. That's great. I like that.
What happened?
I mean, really, Cody. Actually, you know what? It's really simple. It's different audience. Okay, people will say this a lot about the differences with audiences with WWE and AEW. There's these hardcores on both sides, and the hardcores really watch AEW, right? That's their core base. That's why they don't get a lot of casuals. That's why they are losing viewership year over year, and ticket sales. It's because they're not catering to anything beyond their hardcore fan base, and those were the people that were rejecting Cody. Cody back in WWE means he's just going to stay the person that he is, which is a super over babyface, and nobody can deny that from him. As far as CM Punk, Punk was over before he even went to AEW. People have been begging for him to come back for years. I mean, this was going to happen either way. No matter which promotion he went to, he was going to be over and a top draw.
I think for both CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, it was only a matter of time of when they were going to come back to WWE. But I think for both of them, it was a lot earlier than they expected. And I think anybody else expected. And I think a big part of it was, I mean, I'm not, I don't know for sure. I would probably say it's an EVP situation and a booking situation. Cody Rhodes got so lost in the shuffle that he had his own Codyverse that people were joking on the, about, where like he was just getting these random feuds and they were going nowhere. And I think that's where people got fed up. Like they were tired of seeing that.
That happens a lot. There's a lot of people that kind of get lost in the shuffle over there, and there's a lot of people that get lost in the shuffle. Yeah. Oh yeah. It happens in WWE too, of course, because you got these gigantic rosters in both companies, and they're all talented.
Yep.
Like they're all so much talent, ridiculously talented. We are really in a good era for wrestlers because they're probably better than they've ever been, as far as in the ring. As far as,
no doubt.
On the mic, I mean, we have a few. Obviously, we have people like LA Knight.
Yep.
So I mean,
you know what I really want to know from the two of you.
No.
And I guess we can start. We'll start with you, HK. You're the guest, and
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep asking tough questions, and I'm going to try
Bring
to
it
make
on.
them
I'm ready
quicker
for
as we
'em.
go. So,
Keep saying
WWE right now is in a very weird place, in my opinion. I think the product is better than ever from my viewership, but I think in some ways they're on autopilot, and it's also somewhat stale. But I'm referring specifically to
You're fired.
titles, like the championships, where
Here we go again.
it's like we're lagging, like nothing's really happening. You got like Roman Reigns has been, I don't know, he's had these 3 or 4 or however many titles he's had merged together, which is now 1. Thank you, Jesus. But it's been like
Whoa.
4.5 to 25
Jesus, name
years.
drop.
Gunther, he's now the longest reigning this. Seth Rollins has had feud after feud where it's like kind of repeat just for Seth to go over repeatedly. You get what I'm going. Like a lot of the titles,
I see what you're saying. I'm picking up.
They're
what
just
you're
like
dropping.
sitting there. And
I
now,
don't like what he's saying.
On top of that, the roster is getting real dense. It's getting really deep. It's getting dense, and your main event talent's like boiling over for probably the first time in a very long time. Like, when's the last time you had more than like 2 hot baby faces that could be champion? Like that could be champion. More than 2 or 3. You've got Sammy and Cody, and you've got Jey Uso, which I love. Jey Uso.
Jey Uso's doing great right now.
And now you got Punk, you've got Orton, you've got LA Knight. I mean, we could just probably continue on for like main event people. Kevin Owens is still out. You know what I mean?
Sami
Like,
Zayn. I don't know if you mentioned that already.
Yeah. So So what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea for them to continue course and just hold those belts hostage and hang them up in the air and have, whatever? Or do you think they need to start moving on getting different people their thank yous and putting different people in that seat? Because there was a time, correct me if I'm wrong, where the WWE championships were not really like year long. They were like 3 to 6 month title reign, right?
3 to 5 months.
That's a great question.
Yeah,
and
talk to me.
The thing I will say is what I do like about them holding the titles for so long is when they do lose it, it's going to be a big deal.
Means something. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And honestly, I don't think the titles have ever been more prestigious or come off more prestigious, especially with the Intercontinental title. I mean, Gunther's had such a run. So again, when he loses it, it'll be a big deal. Though my only issue with the WWE right now is I do feel their pacing is a little stagnant with like episodic stuff like Raw. SmackDown's a little bit better. I think SmackDown's a little more exciting. Raw, it draws out for 3 hours. But title wise, I think they're doing a good job. And they're not going to hold the title forever. I think Roman's running its course. I think Gunther as well. So Seth Rollins is still doing good. It's still relatively fresh. But with so many people gunning for him, makes it more exciting. And you're going to guess who's going to win, who's going to take it from them. So it's not it's not the worst problem to have so many guys that could easily fill that spot, But I think the pacing could be a little bit better, a little more exciting, because there's never title defenses on TV where you actually think that they're going to lose it. That's the only problem. That's what
not anymore, right?
I can get behind that. I can get behind everything else you said too. I truly believe that they're holding all these titles hostage for a reason. A lot of it is this big refresh outside of the Roman thing. It's kind of more of a refresh of what was done beforehand with, this being a new era, removing Vince McMahon from the creative position that he was in. This is Hunter trying to create his own legacy essentially right now, okay, as running these shows. And, everything's going to come to an end. And, Fog, you're going to be excited. If what I hear is true, you'll be happy. I think everybody's going to be happy in the long run, but the titles have to mean something. So
agreed.
Seth holding on to this belt as he is now, the way he is now, it's going to mean something when he finally does snap and lose.
Yeah.
Gunther, whoever beats him, is going to be the biggest star.
Oh yeah.
Okay, they'll be made. They're going to be made.
They're set. Yeah. Like, please bring in Braun Breaker or somebody like that.
That's what I'm
NXT
saying.
To come up and take that belt from him just to be made.
Who do you guys want to see dethrone Gunther? I'm curious.
Sheamus.
No, I don't
right
want
off
Sheamus.
the bat.
I would like Gable or somebody from NXT.
Anybody from NXT at this point. I think that's the best way to do it.
That would be fucking amazing.
I think
and that'd be a great way to take him in.
I'm gonna rewind because I love Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is like the reason I actually started watching NXT, and so I would like it to be him. I just want what I'm saying with Sheamus is I just want him to get it because I feel like when you get older, right? Like I'm 35, and when you hit a certain age, you start to see things in life differently, like life goals and things that you want, and like that's all Sheamus needs to complete his career. I think on the last episode, which was not a live one, but it was just a chat with my buddy Phil. I said, I think it was then. I said I would actually totally be cool with Sheamus winning the Rumble, but challenging Gunther at WrestleMania. And
that would be a nice twist. That'd be a nice little twist.
I don't know.
I think it would. I think it would demean the Royal Rumble winner a little bit, though.
I agree. It's tricky to do that.
Just a tad bit. It kind of.
I agree.
Down. And then
another
all
thing,
that build of everyone like who's gonna win. It's like Sheamus for that Intercontinental title. It's like,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Another thing too is like. This is a very tough question again, in my opinion, but I want your guys' opinion on this. So yeah. So again, I think WWE has, and again, I said this last week, I think they've booked themselves into somewhat of a corner with these titles and now with Cody. And so like, let's specifically the world titles. So we got Roman and we have Seth. Now, I hear some people joking online. They forget that Roman's there. They forget he's got the title, blah, 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 whatever. That's fine. I get it. He kind of feels like whatever. Now that you got Seth Rollins doing his thing, there's maybe some eyes on that are like, okay, whatever. That's just an opinion. Okay. But like, if someone wins the Rumble, would it not feel weak for them to challenge Seth over Roman? We'll start with that, and then I'll ask the next question.
Ooh, that is a good question. I feel like, I mean, Seth's been doing a great job. He is kind of, the workhorse champion. Mm-hmm. I do see where people are like, oh, there's such a big gap on prestige or which one matters more. It kind of is. I mean, although the World Heavyweight Championship's fresher, so it hasn't had that time to build as much. But I think the way you book into that is by building a feud prior where someone wants to rip off Seth Rollins' head. So he wants to win the Royal Rumble to get his hands on him. I think that's the way around that if there were to be any doubt on why they would pick the World Heavyweight Championship.
And why? And who do we have right now that would love to get his hands on Seth Rollins?
None other than CM Punk.
The hottest name.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, do you? Okay, I have another question, but I'll ask that one after this. I'm just curious. Do you think that match needs the world title? Do you think the world title would be whatever, or do you think it absolutely should not have the title?
I think it should. It just ups the stakes a lot. I mean, everyone's already. I mean, this feud has been building for years. Where like Seth Rollins has been like, oh, let me fight CM Punk just via Twitter or whatever with tweets or interviews. Everyone's been seeing that where he talked bad about him, whatever. So it's been building regardless. Now that you have the title on the line, I think it really ups the ante. I don't know if it necessarily needs it, but it would make it a lot better.
I agree. I don't think it needs it, honestly, but it does add to it, of course. But the bigger thing is, this is a hot take. This is the real hot take. Okay, I don't want CM Punk near a title. Not for a while.
It's not hot for me. I agree with that. I think
I don't know.
I'm going to stay out of that. Go ahead. Go with it.
Okay, so if the goal is for CM Punk to main event WrestleMania, as he said, I think it was on SmackDown, correct?
Yeah, it is.
So he main events WrestleMania with no title on the line.
I know. Trust me.
I don't like that at all.
I get what you're saying, and I understand what everybody wants.
Yeah, but does he have to main event this year? He just came back. Like, what contract did he sign? Right? Like,
he can't go another year without main eventing. It's been so many years. It's been building up for so. It's been his biggest.
It's gonna happen this year or next year, I should say.
Unless he goes against Stone Cold, which has been rumored. Which I don't know how much weight there is to that.
I'm gonna put
that's the only way I can see without
the following 2025 WrestleMania 42.
That's what's
I bet that's what they'll push for. I think this year or this coming WrestleMania.
Stone Cold time is running out, man. If he's got
a small window, he's a small window.
It's like this year. Don't do it.
No, it's not. That's not it at all. You can literally wait another year.
I like Stone Cold. I respect the guy, but man, I had a hard time watching that match with Kevin. It looked like his knees were just about to go underneath him.
It was such a fun match.
It was a fun match.
It was hard to watch.
It really wasn't that bad. Go watch it again.
Hard to watch.
Go watch it again. Go rewatch
I'm gonna watch it after this. It was a little tough. I kind of agree with you, Fog. It was a little tough.
It wasn't that bad,
beginning of the match, watch his movement, and you're gonna be like,
yeah. No, I agree with that part. There, I mean, he has some ring rust, obviously, but it wasn't as bad as you're making it sound.
I just think his legs are.
If they were to do it, the window is extremely small. The window is extremely small.
Yeah.
That's why I said next
year.
Do
it now.
Now, I think next year they could push it, depending on what their plans are for this year.
Yeah.
That's really the big thing, and that's the only way I could see CM Punk main eventing WrestleMania without a championship.
Yeah,
because it's got to be bigger then. But without that, I don't know.
I agree. It's going to be for a title. If he wants to be in the main event, it's got to be for a title in this case.
Yeah, or else it's gonna be like, CM Punk comes in here, does everything he was shitting on years prior about main eventing with no title and demeaning, kind of devaluing the title.
Exactly. Yeah. Nope. And I'm all for it in a way. I really wish it could wait, but I know it's not going to.
Yeah, I think it's just bad timing. Had he came in earlier in the year, like, okay,
it would have been so much better. Yeah.
But now it's like WrestleMania is right around the corner. They're kind of in that aspect. They have booked each other,
and they're gonna cook. They are gonna cook this year on the road to WrestleMania.
Oh, it's already feeling pretty good. It feels different this year. I mean, obviously for kind of obvious reasons.
It's big. This is big. This is a big WrestleMania.
It feels big. I'm loving it.
Man. So what I was gonna ask is,
can't make cookies.
Talking about booking themselves into a corner or whatever, right? Cody Rhodes. Like, I feel like Cody, and I'm not this huge Cody Rhodes fan, like, whatever. But again, life goals. He's a dad now. He has these goals. He had all this stuff. He was gone. He comes back. He wants to win the world title. And it's like, dude, like Sheamus. Like, I want Sheamus to win the world title, so Sheamus feels fulfilled in his career. I want Cody to win a world title. I'm sorry, Sheamus Intercontinental Championship. Sorry.
Oh my God.
He feels fulfilled in his career. Cody paid his dues, and I feel like this is the year, and you got to do it at Mania. Like, that's what I feel like, right? But here's my question. Because my opinion don't matter. But if Cody is to face Roman at WrestleMania, how do they do it? Or better question would be, is if he wins the Rumble again, are they overbooking him?
No, but
because going back to what I asked before, because but see, this is my thing though, is if he does not win the Rumble and the person who does win it challenges Seth,
he just kind of went over that whole thing.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
They would have to book the person to be ready to want to go at Seth and even incentive to want to win.
Yep.
Even CM Punk I just don't think it would make any sense for him to choose Seth. Just because.
Absolutely would.
Because they put it in a position where Roman is the guy to dethrone. Roman and Punk apparently have more heat, I think, from some of the stuff that he's said in the past about Roman, and Roman, I guess, doesn't like Punk at all.
Yeah, that is true. And the whole needle mover comment was a thing. There's been a little bit back and forth with Roman.
That's very minimal compared to like the Rollins.
They have the Heyman connection as well, so that would work on that aspect as well too.
But so you neither of you think that if Cody, let's say CM Punk doesn't win the Rumble, who wins the Rumble? And it challenges Seth, and it makes sense. Drew doesn't make sense because Drew's got more history with Roman.
I think Drew would make sense because wasn't he?
Drew would make sense.
Monday he was just pissed off that Jay was getting the championship title, and also he's getting slighted by everybody. So there is reason there. I mean, that would make sense.
There's reason, but wouldn't he look weak to not pick Roman?
WrestleMania, you would have to make it mean more. Like, there would have to be more events where it's like, oh, he's really gonna want to gun for Seth Rollins. That's just a booking situation if they were to do it.
I get that. That makes sense, and thank you for your answer. It's one of those.
But
things
I do
where
agree that I agree with your question in the sense that they have booked themselves in a corner or backed themselves into a corner because
they have
booking a year out is tough. Like, you make Cody lose a year ago WrestleMania, and then he says like his story's not finished. It's like, oh well, what else are you gonna do there? I don't think they anticipated CM Punk coming back. So it kind of makes things a little more, a little tougher there. But at this point, you kind of have to go with that. It'd be fucked for Cody not to. And then just booking wise, like, what do you do there if you don't go that direction?
Right.
You kind of have to.
Yeah, fair.
I don't think anybody's mad at that idea either. Like, all right, he finally wins the big one, finally dethrones Roman, and then the build-up's been cool, and it's been like a year in the making. So I don't think anybody's be mad at that.
No, nobody would be mad at it.
Now, if he loses 2 times in a row, I could see a riot happening, but
that's what I was gonna say.
What we're gonna probably. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of would want to see that happen just for the shits and giggles online. If Roman wins
Twitter
again,
would explode. I mean, it's already toxic in Twitter.
I need that. I kind of need to see that.
I still feel like he should have just won. I feel like there was no benefit to Roman still being champion. Like, I don't know that Roman's done. What has Roman done since then?
I mean, it's been a historic on the numbers wise. Like, yeah, you keep the days keep ticking. It's cool. You're gonna look back on it. Historic reign. I don't think anybody wants Cody to win even more than they did before.
It's filling a Wikipedia page.
Yeah,
like I don't just think, populating Wikipedia. That's all.
I don't think it's made anybody want Cody to win any more than they did prior. Like I think it stayed the same.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it hasn't been a benefit to Cody at all whatsoever. I don't think he could have won last year, and I still would have been surprised.
Yeah,
I think it's a benefit for Roman to keep holding.
Yeah, that's 100% what it is. You know, it's
the legacy that they want him to leave behind. His career is not as long as people think it's going to be.
Oh,
you know, it's just not, with multiple health issues before. Obviously, he's gotten better, thankfully, and you know, hoping that it stays that way. But you know, he's a family man. That's why he's not around so much. Mix that with the fact that this is kind of their booking that they want for him.
Which is it's good. He's like an attraction. So
they wanted him like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And they wanted the title to feel like it was this grand final boss, win, and nobody's going to get that fighting just some random other guy who just held the belt for a couple, months. This is it.
Exactly.
This is the final freaking boss.
He feels that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does. I just
every little bit of him
predictable with a lot of the stuff they're doing. It just feels really predictable, and that's kind of my complaint. Is I think there would have been no harm if like Cody won at Mania last year or someone else. I mean, like. Again,
I mean, him losing was pretty unpredictable. I think.
But now,
like, again. Yeah. You got that whole year build. Roman's not going to lose in between any of that time because it's pretty much safe for Cody. That's the only that is the issue.
What is it?
I mean, him holding the title for so long isn't necessarily the issue. It's that we know that he's probably not going to, at least at that point, we knew he wasn't going to lose it until Cody because of finishing the story situation. So it does he's not going to lose it here. I didn't think he was going to lose it to LA Knight. There's just a couple situations where you're like, probably not going to happen.
Knight was one of the few where I was pretty excited for it, but it was so predictable.
I was lying to myself the whole time. I love LA Knight, and I was like, he might win. I knew he wasn't going to fucking win, but I just wanted to lie to myself. I was invested in the match, and I really, really wanted some fucking miracle to happen where he won because, I mean, he's hotter than ever, but he's still going up, so it didn't really.
Yeah, he's still blowing up. It's great.
Yeah, even with that loss, he still didn't, go back.
I mean, it helped him a lot more, even with.
It showed that he can hang at that level. I thought him going in that match and losing was actually the right call.
It was.
Because it was like he didn't need that win. It would have been cool, but like sometimes that adrenaline, that dopamine rush, you hit that ceiling and then you crash, right?
And exactly. Like people get over stuff fast, so you kind of got to learn where to pick your spots and like, oh, here he can win. Keep it building while you can. Don't blow your load too fast. Definitely with LA Knight, it's a careful situation where you don't want to fuck it up before it can actually peak up.
No, I agree with that.
So we play a game. I call it Canvas Clash, but I want to talk about something else first. Jay, if you got a topic, we'll touch on that. But how much AEW are you watching these days? HK.
I'm pretty well versed in AEW. Like I know everything that's going on for the most part. If I don't, I'd be surprised. But I'm pretty into every programming. That's like
so
AEW,
Dynamite, Rampage, Collision.
Yeah, for the most part.
Wow. How would you rank them? Because we were talking to Xenia a couple weeks back, and she kind of made some interesting comments. Like Collision feels like it's a totally different show, totally different company. She sees Rampage as like the number 2 show. How do you rank those shows?
Oh, for me, Rampage has to go third without a doubt. There's so many filler matches on there that I don't. It's like the wins and losses don't matter on that show for the most part. I mean, now with the C2 Continental Classic, whatever, it's more must watch and it actually matters, which I love that tournament so much.
Actually,
so many bangers. So yeah, to answer your question, I go Rampage, Dynamite, and then number 1 Collision. Collision is great, and it still has that little touch of Punk that he left behind, where it's like it does feel different. It's got a different pacing.
So Collision's your number 1.
Yes.
I do like it a lot. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's my number one just because yeah,
it
does feel different. It's got a different vibe for sure.
I liked Collision at first. I did.
It was great, especially. I don't think it's as good as it was before though.
It's definitely not. I actually have been enjoying Dynamite more than Collision, and I don't watch Rampage. Unfortunately, it's just I don't have enough time in the day. And
yeah, I don't. I try to keep up, but it's not even worth it. Sometimes.
I'd rather watch TNA at this point. Like, I can't wait.
I'm so excited for TNA, dude. I'm a diehard TNA fan since like they were doing weekly pay-per-views.
Hell yeah.
For like $9.99 or some shit, whatever it was. Oh man, I love TNA. I'm so excited it's going back to its core. A lot of people have been sleeping on it and always making it's been like the butt end of the jokes, and it's finally getting some love and respect. So that's cool to see.
Scott D'Amore really has done wonders for that company.
Oh yeah, since like it's been like shit, I think like 3 or 4, maybe more years where he fucking took control, and it's changed ever since. And it's gradually progressing to the point where it's like now it's TNA and people are excited to tune in.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's timing it awesome. Well too. They're timing all that well. They're doing things slow. They're not rushing.
Yeah,
I agree.
Exactly.
And I'm excited. Osprey at their next one of their next pay-per-views. Snake Eye
against
Osprey.
One of the reasons.
So great.
Dude, that's a banger. And so Josh Alexander, I have to say, this isn't a hot take whatsoever. It's like a cold take because I think everyone knows it. He's so fucking underrated. People are sleeping on Josh Alexander. The guy can.
They're sleeping on Impact in general or TNA.
Yeah, that's true. True. Yeah, because I get it. Some people still think it has that stench of like old Dixie Carter days or the fucking Hogan mishap,
guys. Oh
and it's dude, the work rate's insane. The storylines are compelling. Like it's good shit. If whoever's watching this, go tune in. It's fucking awesome.
Go watch TNA.
Go watch TNA,
or you will be cursed.
Yeah, or you'll get fined.
My last tough question before I leave it to Jay if he's got topics. If not, we're going to be Campus Clash. But my last tough question is this.
No.
During this year, you've had a lot of hot free agents, and I'm going to throw names out there. I'm going to say that I believe Will Ospreay was the hottest, and I say that despite CM Punk because Ospreay is future. CM Punk is on his way out. He's 45. Let's be real.
That's fair. 10 years left.
Let's be real. So I'll put them same from a business perspective. I'll say CM Punk is money now, Ospreay's money in the future. So you had Ospreay and Punk as like you're probably the two biggest. Jade Cargill was a big one. Jay White, I think a lot of people maybe blew that one up a little bit more. They're like, oh, Jay White's got to go to WWE, blah, blah, blah. I don't know that Jay White was going to be a shark in WWE like people wanted to believe that he is. Would have been, whatever. But he was still a hot free agent, right? And so you still have possibly some more, but I think all the biggest names have already been gobbled up now. MJF silently, maybe possibly has already re-signed with AEW, but that's also potentially moving into next year. So my question to the both of you is this. With all of the hot free agents that have been picked up by WWE or AEW, who's left? That's like coming up as a hot free agent or is currently a hot free more coming up. Like
that's a good question. Left? I like that.
Julia.
Okay.
I gotta go with it's kind of probably a dark horse, but a big shout out to Alexander Hammerstone. He's a free agent.
Yeah.
He just got his
love that
or whatever.
MLW
from MLW, and dude, the guy's got every check mark that you can think of. Great on the mic. He's got a great look. He can wrestle. I think him for sure. Whoever picks him up should fucking utilize him to the. I want TNA to get him, honestly.
I hope they get him.
I really hope they do, and I think that's the one right there that
better.
People are sleeping on. But like over time, they'll be like, "Oh shit, we kind of missed the one on that one."
Dude.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a beast.
Dude, he's a monster of a man.
I need to see like a what I eat in a day from him. Like he's got
you don't want to see that.
8,000 calories. Something crazy like that. That dude's shredded and he's always like, I'm working on getting better. I'm like, bro, there's nothing left for you to do.
Yeah, you've maxed out all your VC, dude. Like,
you're already there. You've got all the DLCs. You're done.
Yeah,
bro.
You're maxed out. You're already there. And he's still going. He keeps getting bigger too, which is fucking
I know. Insane. How? Oh my God.
Oh, and another one I can think of is Richard Holiday. I think he's a free agent now too,
if
I'm not mistaken. And he's doing some good shit online where I've seen like he does little promo videos, which is pretty interesting stuff. And he's another one like him, MJF, and Hammerstone all had like a group together, and I think those three are really on their own going to do big things, and people will look back and be like, "Damn, that group was a big deal."
it's probably pretty fair to say that if MJF did not sign and his contract does come up next year, that he would be the hottest free agent of 2024, right?
Hands down. And I would have been curious to see where he actually would have went, because I know WWE keeps their eye on other talent, and it would have piqued my interest if he would have signed with WWE just for shits and giggles to see how it would pan out and play out. I think it would be huge. It would be huge for sure. And it would be a big blow to AEW, and I don't necessarily want to see that either, because I like all the companies. It's fun to watch.
AEW seems like they actually have the youth right now. I mean, despite what's happening in NXT, because that's kind of hard to say. Like NXT is tricky because a lot of times the translation to the main roster isn't there. Like you see a lot of people, they get called up and they don't really like.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll ask one more hard question now that we're on the topic, just because I like to be proved wrong. But who is the last NXT person to get called up and is now a big deal? Let's say main eventer.
Shit, I might have to think about that one.
Take your time. Man. This is a problem, though, isn't it? That
you're 100% right on that sense, where it's like the transition hasn't been as flawless, and sometimes it almost becomes a different wrestler.
LA Knight.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's night and day when they go from
LA
NXT.
LA Knight.
Oh shit! There we go.
Yeah,
right there. Knight. Already done.
A huge one too.
That's a big one.
Very big one.
Main event talent right there.
Cool.
And
there you go. LA Knight. Aside from LA Knight,
I mean,
now we're moving the goalpost.
Yeah, why are you moving the goalpost,
bro? Cross, Grayson Waller, Austin Theory.
Oh, Grayson Waller's been great. Grayson Waller's been doing.
He's great.
Stuff. And also the Waller effect. He's had like some big names on the show. So.
But
Cena,
it's not a lot.
Edge.
It's not like they're pumping people out. You know what I'm saying? It's not. That's so. I just.
Why
I
are
only
you trying to rush it?
I'm only bringing that up because AEW has the youth.
Caught.
So despite the fact that AEW is not growing, they're actually kind of like, going the other way a little bit in some regard. But they have the youth. So I wonder if it's one of those things you just got to give it time. You know what I mean? But
what you mean,
anyway.
like that youthful character Sting or Ric Flair, right?
Ric Flair.
Oh, Adam Copeland. That's who you're talking about.
That's a good prospect.
That up-and-comer Christian Cage.
If any of them were world champion, I would.
Who main evented Dynamite? Was it Dynamite? Who main evented that? Was it Dynamite? One of the shows this week was main evented by Edge and Christian.
Oh yeah, that was was that Dynamite, right?
It was Dynamite.
Yeah, it was Dynamite.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, it's a big moment, right?
Whole lot of youth. Whole lot of youth.
Well, listen. What I'm saying is
I'm just
no. You're good. You're good. Like I said, I want to be proved wrong, right? But like, and it is true. But at the same time, like, I bring it up because the internet does this thing where they just try to like trash one company. They're like, oh, AEW is only. It's really annoying. They're like, oh, AEW only relies on older talent. Meanwhile, the top names in WWE are 40, 45, 43, or upper 30s, like upper. Like 38 to 30 to 40, you know what I mean? And that's okay. That's totally fine. It's just
I kind of see
shut up. Just shut up. Like this is why you just shut up. Like you can have an opinion, but like you better be prepared to be totally freaking wrong about it. So anyway,
totally agree.
Jay, you got any final topics before I give you the real hard question?
Before we kind of finish that one, but the biggest but is that WWE actually has that performance center. They have NXT, which is building that younger crop. I mean, and you do have guys like Mello, Braun Breaker that are just waiting. They're chomping at the bits. Williams, of course, Dijak,
agreed,
can easily become a big player. All they have to do is book him right and give him a damn win finally. Shout out to the fans of Dijak fans.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing because NXT has had like one of the most successful classes, I guess you could say, right now with Braun Breaker, Carmelo, Grayson.
Yeah.
And so far, only we've seen Grayson so far come out, but once those other two come out, it's gonna be a game changer where things are kind of like. Then we're gonna.
That's not even counting the women's division, which
and that's a huge one too. They have
fire.
Their women's division.
You got
Tiffany Stratton's gonna be a big time key player.
Roxanne. I mean,
Stratton and Cora Jade stand out to me as the two where it doesn't matter, like just the way that they look and present and the way that I see WWE liking things.
They have star
power. Those two.
They got star
those
power.
two have star
aura.
Power there.
It's all about that aura now.
And in fairness, the great thing about NXT to me now is that NXT is like a really nice not a melting pot. It's like a cooking pan. It's like you're seeing them develop in front of your eyes.
Yeah,
in real time. Yeah, and before it was kind of like part of the reason I did not watch NXT was because it didn't matter. If I liked you in NXT and they called you up to the main roster, that's not the same person. Look at what
No,
they
it
do
was
with Karrion
it was actually like
Kross.
a death sentence, honestly. Like, I would pray that my favorite wrestler didn't get picked up from NXT because I'm like, oh man, it was good while it lasted.
I mean, look at LA Knight.
Yeah, he's done great though.
Yeah, but he was Max Dupree. Look at Karrion Kross.
Yeah, like, that's a big one where
I can't recover.
Super underrated wrestler. Super underrated wrestler. Everyone wants to say he can't wrestle at all. Every time I'm like, he's underrated. Dude, he's got such a great look. I don't know if you guys ever watched or were watching Impact when he was on Impact, and dude, they booked him to perfection. Which I don't know why WWE doesn't do that. Dude, he just needs to be a psycho killer. You know, it's not that crazy. Shave his fucking head back and just
shave his head. Agreed.
Shave his head.
All right, Jay, you got anything else before I
make
things really
the biggest
difficult?
news. I have the biggest news that was just announced not that long ago. Sportskeeda actually posted it, which pisses me off. But Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, was going to make his first match since being released by WWE in Puerto Rico. He is challenged by Ray Gonzalez at WWC. That is awesome. I hope he sells that place out too, and I hope he gets that win because it's Dolph freaking Ziggler. It's Nick Nemeth. He is amazing.
I do love Dolph Ziggler.
Is he going by Nemeth? Because Dolph Ziggler
by
is very
Nick Nemeth.
WWE. Okay, I was gonna say there ain't no way he's got Dolph Ziggler under his belt.
Yes, I am excited. I'm excited for that.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, I'm glad he's still doing the whole wrestling thing. I know he has this comedy act, and he is really funny. Very funny.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, he is funny. That's what I'm wondering though, where his career is going to go from here, because I do know the comedy is a big priority for him, which is great, and he is funny. But it's like, does he just put wrestling in the back seat, or is he going to sign to a promotion? I'm kind of curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll eventually end up in AEW, even if it's for a short bit, just to work with his brother.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool if they were a tag team. I'd be interested to see that.
And what else? What else do I got? Let's kind of think here. I'm trying to process everything that's happened lately.
There's so much going on, man. So much going on.
Oh man, I mean, everybody saw that Goldberg appeared out of nowhere at an NFL game today, right? And he speared some guy.
More of a spine buster, but it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, definitely more of a.
He didn't want to kill him.
He's still in great shape.
I think he was trying to kill him, but he failed. That's okay.
Hey, he's still in great shape, man. I would love to see an AEW run, even though everyone hates on all the old guys.
I do not want to see him in AEW.
I do.
I want to see him show up and squash MJF.
What is wrong with you, man? You were trying to get us
You just
canceled.
want to see the world burn, huh?
Okay, well, who do you think the devil is now?
Oh, who's the devil?
Who is the devil?
Wardlow.
I think it's Wardlow. I never thought it was CM Punk.
Hold on. Let me see if I can do this crap. I have a tweet where I kind of showed this image that proved that it was, well, one of the masked men at least was Wardlow. It's not that far back. I think I can add it, and it's going to be hilarious. Keep on talking about something. Jesus.
All right. Let's do this.
I was waiting for the big reveal. That's all.
I'm working on it.
Let's start up Canvas Clash. So how this works, HK, is I'm going to give you two WWE superstars. I'm doing WWE this time. That I think are going to be hard for you to pick from. Okay, unfortunately, you have to pick, and you don't get a lot of time to choose. I'm going to give you 1 second. You got to just do it.
Fire.
I give you one pass. So if there's one that's like,
I promise you guys right now, I will not pass on anything.
I don't pass.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. I'll start you with possibly some easier ones, but maybe not.
All right.
All right, so HK, here's your first one. So you got Trick Williams or Carmelo Hayes?
Carmelo.
Okay.
In every aspect, besides theme song.
Okay. Yeah. His theme's ridiculous. All right, Jay, are you ready? Is that a yes?
I said yeah. Go.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Tiffany Stratton or Lyra Valkyria?
Lyra.
Really?
Wait.
Who would you have said, HK? Would you have gone Stratton?
Oh, Tiffany Stratton, dude.
I mean, they both have huge potential.
Dude, no, dude. Tiffany already has it though. Like she's already there.
I'm
she's already there. Like, you could put her on the main roster right now, and I think she would absolutely kill it.
All right, before we go to the next set, I think.
Yeah, go ahead. You got the devil.
Real quick, let's see if I can add. Damn it, I have the devil. I just got to figure out where I downloaded it to, and I'm going to send you guys the link to the tweet in Video Ninja, since that's what we use.
You got it. All right, but first,
Everybody
HK while
live
he's
right
loading
now
that
can
up.
see this shit. This is this image. This is it. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna send it over to.
It gives it away. Like you're saying, it's gonna give away who's in the
No,
mask.
I sent it in live chat there, and I'm gonna send it on Video Ninja in a message if I can remember where I put my Video Ninja. Do control room, yay! There is chat right here, and send.
All right, let's check it out.
I figured it out. This is it, man. Definitive proof.
Definitive proof, huh?
Definitive proof.
The boots are the exact same.
Exact same. And after the, when Wardlow came out that same night.
Oh yeah, with hair.
Like he was, just took off a mask.
Interesting.
I mean, I know a thing or two about masks.
I can see Wardlow being one of the henchmen or whatever you want to call them. I don't know if he's the devil though.
I don't know,
especially from what we've seen. He's been more of a slender guy.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone who's played the devil so far is actually going to be the real reveal.
I have heard they're using the actual people. I don't know how true that is. I have heard they're using the actual wrestlers that are going to be them. I don't know how true that is though.
Not the devil. That one's been confirmed.
Oh, everybody but the devil. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm just gonna leave this up.
That's
here.
interesting.
Wardlow, if you watch this, Wardlow, I'm on to you.
We know it's you, Wardlow.
Freaking K.
The jig is up, Wardlow.
I've covered myself on the live.
Show yourself.
I know it's you.
Let him in the chat. Let him in the chat.
Wardlow, you're in the chat. I know you are.
All right, we'll wrap up with a couple more of these. So this one's for you, HK, and I think I got you figured out. You know what you like, and there are no questions about it. So, all right. So this one's an easy one for you. It's Roxanne Perez or Cora Jade.
Cora Jade, easy. She's got more of that. I think the attitude that she brings, and kind of like I guess we're gonna use the word aura because that's getting used around a lot. But she's got that. Okay. She's got that it factor.
All right, Jay, you got Braun Breaker or Gunther?
Fuck. Oh,
Time's up, bro.
Yeah, time's up. I've never been kind of like so stuck on something because on one end you got Braun, who is the future, and Gunther is the present and future.
And future, yeah.
I mean, in the end, I'm gonna go with Gunther. I think he's the better talent.
Okay. HK, who would you have said?
For now.
Easily, I'm going Braun. I mean, I love Gunther. I love him.
Yeah.
Great matches, badass. The chops are insane. Braun Breaker just has. I mean, maybe because the WCW mark in me just like remembers the Steiners and Goldberg.
Oh yeah,
he's got like Steiner and Goldberg.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Yeah.
It's like if you put him in a little pot and then out comes Braun Breaker. I just love his demeanor, just as a wrestler and as a fan. I would go Braun Breaker every day. He's also more entertaining in my personal opinion.
Agreed.
But, I gotta go.
All right,
that's fair. I mean, that's hot take.
All right,
HK.
There. This one's gonna be easy for you. We got Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns.
Oh shit! No, that one's actually kind of hard. Surprisingly, I'm a little.
I know.
That's a hard one.
Ooh, shit!
You know what? Take your time.
All right, no, I'm gonna go. Damn. I'm
Fog
going
is fired.
Roman Reigns. Just because he's the guy. Like, he's the pinnacle of WWE. He's the face of WWE right now, and he's the only person with the historic reign. So,
all right,
it's gonna be a long time before that's
you, Jay.
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio or Baron Corbin?
Screw you completely. But Dom is the god.
Yeah.
All right. Dom.
All right, HK. I got for you. You got Io Sky or Bianca Belair?
Belair.
Yeah.
She's like. I love the Io Sky trash can off the cage spot. Like that's one of my favorite things to see. Even though it's only happened twice, it's great.
Bianca's my favorite.
But Bianca's like, dude. Yeah, Bianca's. I think awesome. She could easily take over the women's division, and nobody would bat an eyelash. She should be there.
I absolutely would.
She should be like a prominent role constantly.
Yeah. What, are you trying to make her into Charlotte Flair?
Yeah.
It'd be more believable.
Okay. That makes more sense. I get that.
It'd be believable, yeah. All right, I got a couple more. Jay, this one's for you. Austin Theory or Grayson Waller?
Theory. I like Theory. I think Theory could be more
HK, you go Waller, right?
I would go Waller.
I like Waller,
you're
and Waller's funny.
You're picking up quick.
No, think about it. Waller is hilarious.
I will
Okay.
say though, Theory's criminally underrated. I
Yes.
know he's watered down his ring work a little bit, but dude, before when he was back when he was Evolve, dude, the guy was killing it. He was like the face of their company. I think if you brought that back, people would warm up to him. But he's a heel. He doesn't need to be like all the flashy moves.
No.
Yeah, you see that a lot with guys like even Roman.
That face turn's gonna be huge.
Even Roman. All right, so this one is for you, HK. You got Becky Lynch or Bailey?
Bailey, I'm not a fan of Becky Lynch at all. I cannot stand Becky Lynch at all. I love Bailey too, and she's from the Bay Area, so that works out.
All right, yeah, Bailey's great. All right, Jay, you got Liv Morgan or Alexa Bliss?
Bliss, get out of here with that.
What?
Really?
I stand for Bliss always.
HK's going Liv.
Yeah, I love Liv. I love Liv.
Dude, I love Liv's underdog run when she was going for the title on Raw. Love that little underdog run. Dude, she was awesome, man. She's hard not to cheer for. I love Bliss, though, but she's, dude.
Stand for Bliss.
Ah, man, ever since she did like the whole the Fiend stuff, kind of fell off for me. She just really
I loved her with that.
Absolutely. Dude, she lost me with that one. She lost me with that one. I liked when she was like the queen bee princess type of.
Oh, that hands down way better. But
way better.
I enjoyed it when she was, doing the whole Fiend stuff. But that's possibly because I actually enjoyed the Fiend stuff so much.
Love the Fiend stuff though. I love the Fiend stuff. Just not Alexa Bliss. The Alexa Bliss did not have to be involved at all.
That's fair. I respect your opinion, even if it's wrong.
Hey, touche.
Hey, remember, I have to deal with Fog Jones here all the damn time. Trust me, he does a lot of bad takes.
All right, I got 3 more. So this one's to you, HK. This one is going to determine whether or not we have 3 more, or we just cut this damn show off right now.
You pushing it as it is.
Sheamus or Drew McIntyre?
I already knew where I was going with this one, Drew McIntyre.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry. I knew that was gonna hurt you, but I'm not a Sheamus guy.
No, Drew's my guy. Drew's my favorite guy.
Drew is his all-time favorite.
Drew's my number one guy.
And I know
he talked about Sheamus earlier. I'm not a big Sheamus guy.
He cries himself to sleep at night because Drew keeps losing.
Hey, it's pretty tough to be a Drew fan right now. It's pretty
hard.
tough to be a Drew guy.
I saw someone post on Twitter. They said it's real hard to be a Drew fan. I want out, and I was like, me too,
I
bro.
quit. I've had enough. I'm done.
Oh my goodness.
I'm over it.
I can't with you two.
Jay, I hope this one's real tough for you. I got LA Knight or Randy Orton.
That's tough.
LA Knight, because Orton is coming to an end to his career.
Mm-hmm.
And I think LA Knight still has a little bit more miles left to go.
Cool. HK, what would you have said?
Tough for me, just because Randy Orton is a legend in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because he just came back
so much. He just came back. He looks amazing too. The dude is jacked as fuck. I don't understand it. Him and CM Punk came back both jacked as hell. But honestly, I think I might go LA Knight just because I like him better on the mic. Honestly, that's it. And I think he's still got a lot left in the tank, so we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, he looks fresh.
He hasn't even hit his peak yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, he looks fresh.
He definitely has not hit his peak.
This guy's just cold jumping to the top rope, like no.
Oh yeah.
Even when he slips, he catches it.
That's nuts.
Yeah, he's a freak athlete.
All right, so HK, this one's for you. We'll do 2 more. So let's go Zoe Stark or Piper Niven.
Neither. No, I'm just kidding. I'll go Piper Niven just because I'm enjoying what she's doing with Chelsea Green. But I'm not. Zoe Stark. No, man. When they paired her up with Trish Stratus, I had to turn off the TV.
Made no sense. Okay.
Made no sense.
They were trying to get a new star over, just so you know.
And it failed.
Maybe for you. I think she's
all right, Jay. You got
I like Piper
you got
more.
the last one, and this is the hardest one.
Bring it.
The Great Khali or Omos?
Yeah, Omos. Homo sapiens. Rise.
Rise.
How dare you?
Oh, only because he partook in the greatest match of all time. I'm going with the Great Khali in the Punjabi cage match, or whatever it was called.
The worst match ever.
Groundbreaking stuff. Put some respect on that match, all right?
Okay, you know what? I got one more for you, HK. I got one more because that was such a good answer. Last one, I promise. Raquel Rodriguez or Shayna Baszler?
Ooh. Shayna. I'll go Shayna.
Shayna?
And I wish they would do more with her because she's such a badass.
She really is.
Yeah.
Like her NXT run was pretty brutal, sick. So yeah.
I agree.
I mean,
all right, that's all I got. That's all I got, and we're way over.
We're not way over.
Hey, those were some great questions. Great questions.
Longest show yet.
Hell yeah. We're making history.
I mean, we can keep going. We can go for 2-3 hours, be like everybody else on the internet, and instead, nope, screw that crap. Guys, thank you for watching. This is Not Another Wrestling Talk Show, and in sombering fashion, I do want to announce that we are taking a small, short hiatus. Unfortunately, due to the fact that, I got promoted at my job. So I'm taking on a lot of responsibility now. So while I get prepared for that, I'm going to be purchasing soon a laptop that can stream and record and all this fun stuff that we do all the time anyways. But until then, I have to take a short breakaway. Maybe I'll teach Fog if he has a brain and can actually pay attention to OBS and YouTube. See if we can get him going with it. And maybe we'll have HK over here jump in with him too.
I would love to.
Great. I mean,
you're my co-host now. Congratulations. You just found out.
That would be great.
I just got a job on the spot. All right.
You just got the job.
Whatever I'm paying you today, we're going to double it, okay?
Oh, yes.
A whole lot of everything. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you again for supporting. Thank you all for joining along, for anyone in the live chat, as well as whoever shares, everyone in the Discord and PWN. I know, I see you, I watch you, I hear you. I appreciate you all for being so positive about wrestling. It's a great time to be a fan. It really is. Any closing thoughts, guys?
Thank you guys for having me. I've had a blast. Thank you guys, everyone who's watching. Thank you guys. Support these guys. This is one of the most fun podcasts that I've been on and also have watched. So keep supporting. And also on TikTok at MarkoutMania, on Twitter at MarkoutMania_, and then at RealMarkoutHK. Follow all of them.
Follow him. He's a great follow too, especially
he really
if you
is, actually.
things broken down a very positive way, very respectful, not just out there to be a dick, So love that from you, man. So keep that up.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm a fan.
Thank you all.
Likewise.
Thank you. Please have a wonderful day. Safe driving if you're driving. Safe weather if you are going out in the weather. And of course, this is it for us. The Masked J, Fog Jones, and of course HK with Real Mark out.